Hello and welcome back to my channel. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Sian. Please subscribe for more videos. There are loads of helpful videos on this channel. I'm sure you'll find something that you like. I'm going to be doing a Q&A for you today. I haven't done one of these in absolutely ages. I will link the last one here. I just thought, why not? It's been a while, so I asked on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram yesterday if any of you had any questions, and a few of you got in touch, so I shall answer them now. The first question comes from Meg Orp on Instagram, and it is Shag, Marry, Kill, the Take That edition. Now, for those of you who know me, you will know that I love Take That. Have done since I was approximately 9 years old. So, Shag, Marry, Kill, that's a tough one. Only 3 members left. I'm going to have to kill Howard. Sorry, Howard. I will shag Mark because I fancied him for years, and I will marry Gary because I think he would be a better husband than Mark. No offence, Mark. But I think I might also have to fight Em from Brummy Mummy for Gary. I think she's got first dibs. Not sure though. The next question came in on Twitter, and it is from the lovely Cheryl at Nonstop Paris. And she asks, if you could go anywhere, money, no object, where would you go? Now, I could like have a cop out here and just say I would travel around the world, because that would be amazing, especially with children, and I think you would need a lot of money to kind of do it properly. But somewhere I would absolutely love to go and never have done is Fiji. So I would say like maybe a tour of that side of the world. I've been to Australia and New Caledonia, but I've never been to Fiji or New Zealand. I would love, love, love to visit all over there. And also China. I'd love to travel. I really, really would, but circumstances mean that we can't really at the moment. Hayley from My Happy Ever After asks, how do you juggle it all? The answer to that is simple, I guess. I just do. Like, I just crack on and do stuff. When I was at uni, for those of you who don't know, I graduated as a mature student 4 years ago, and my children were very, very young when I first started doing that. So when I was doing that, I just kind of split myself into different roles and different parts of my life. So I had a student Sian and a home Sian and a mum Sian, and I just had to kind of separate my life and also my brain, because that was the only way that I could function, really. And I guess the B&B, to a certain extent, I do the same. I only take B&B guests generally at the weekend, unless it's during the school holidays. During the school holidays, it is hard running a B&B. The kids are at home. They don't want my attention to be on someone else. They want it to be on them, and that's really, really difficult, but I just have to keep juggling. So it's not really a great answer to your question, but I just keep going, carry on. Then Megan Morgan asks, are you originally from Yorkshire? Would you like to live anywhere else in the UK? Well, yes, I am originally from Yorkshire. I will put just here a link to my Draw My Life, which explains all that kind of stuff. I was born in Yorkshire in the hospital just down the road, same hospital my daughter was born in, but I was brought up in Oxford because my mum moved down there when my mum and dad split up. When I was 4-ish, 5-ish, we moved down to Oxford. So yes, I'm originally from Yorkshire, but I didn't grow up here. The only other place I think I would love to live in the UK is the Lake District, and that's only if it wasn't as busy as it is. So if there's some kind of secluded part of the Lake District that I don't yet know about that's kind of easily accessible, then I'm there. I have a question from Nadine, who is a business mum, and she says, what's the weirdest thing a guest has left in their bedroom? And she followed it up with, and did you give it back to them? We haven't ever had anything odd left, really. Obviously we get like loads of random socks or things like that get left all the time. Umbrellas, walking sticks. You'd think you'd need them, right? The oddest thing I've seen in a room is what I can only describe as a sex blanket. And I think that's what it was. It was in the bed and it had certain stains on it. And this was just when I went in to kind of make up the room for the next night. So they were still coming back that night. And I assume they just put it down to be clean, which is obviously great. And I'm very grateful to them for it. I don't normally keep stuff. If we keep it for about a month, and if people haven't asked for it back, then I take it to a charity shop. Generally, that's how it goes. I don't think I'd keep something if it was weird though. I don't know, it depends what it was. Who knows? On the theme of guests, Ali asks, Do you prefer it when guests strip their own beds to be helpful, or leave the sheets on so you don't get suspicious about what's on the sheets? And I love it when guests strip the beds. I genuinely hadn't ever contemplated that they might be hiding something by stripping the beds. It probably only happens twice a year that people do that. So let's say each weekend we get 20 people on average stay. So the fact that maybe 1 or 2 people do it during the year shows that not many people do it. I always do it when I go stay somewhere. I just think it saves them a job, and I never thought it might look really odd. So now I'm going to question whether I do it again. Who knows? Colette from Going on Adventure has a few questions for me. First one, do you ever sleep in the B&B rooms? No, but I came to film in here because this is my favourite room by far. I love it. And Colette, this is actually the room that you stayed in, I think, last year, but this is its renovation, and I love it. It's a room that makes me happy. It's just got views of hills on all sides, and I love it. And maybe we should come and stay in the B&B side. My mum did suggest maybe we should pretend we were guests and get the kids to make breakfast for us, so I might have to try that one day, but so far we never have. We obviously did before we used to live here, but now it would feel a bit odd. She also asked, what's your biggest regret? I don't know. I don't generally regret things because I think that everything kind of happens for a reason. So if it happens for a reason, then that's, you know, that's what happens. But so I don't think I really regret anything. I guess, like, in terms of work, my biggest regret is not vlogging when I set up my YouTube channel in 2011. I didn't really know enough about it, but I feel like maybe if I'd got on the boat a bit earlier, then I might have had more followers and all that stuff. But I love you guys watching, so that's great. So I guess my biggest regret is not starting something sooner, because I know, like, if it's to do with like leaving school at 16, I don't regret that at all, because obviously I met my husband when I was 17 and that wouldn't have happened if I hadn't have left school, and I ended up going to university anyway, so I kind of got there eventually. And Colette also asked, how do you make time for yourself when you live at work? Now this is a really difficult one and something that I find really, really hard to do. So because every room here is linked to work, so when I'm not working the B&B, I'm vlogging or blogging, so everything here is linked to work, so we have to escape. So we do escape when we can, basically. We go away for weekends or a couple of nights in the week sometimes. It's really hard to get away during B&B season, so we tend to go in October or February. We don't really go away in the summer holidays because we can't, because we're busy. So it's very hard to kind of separate yourself from work, and it's hard to shut off from work. So when we've got guests in, I never truly relax, I don't think. It's just the way it is. Helen asks, what are your top 3 favourite books, and what book do you think everyone should read? Okay, my top 3 favourite books. My favourite book as a child is 101 Dalmatians. I loved it, and yeah, absolutely adored 101 Dalmatians, and I still have it now, and I still read it occasionally. The Disney film is different. They changed the name of the dogs, and I was unhappy about that. But the book I love. My favourite book as an adult is probably The Handmaid's Tale, and I read that at school and just obviously was petrified by it, but I absolutely love the way that Margaret Atwood writes, and yeah, what more can you say? It's an incredible, incredible book. And the third one, this is really tough. I'm actually going to go with Twelfth Night because it's one of the best Shakespeare plays that there is. And again, I studied this at, well, actually I studied it at college and at school, and I really, really loved it. So I'm going to go with Twelfth Night. And as far as a book that I think that everyone should read, I think Lord of the Flies, because it's one of those books that really makes you think and makes you question humanity and how we are, basically. The final question, I missed one of Colette's, and it is, what was the hardest thing about being a mature student? The hardest thing was writing a dissertation, because my son had started school by then and I just didn't have as much time as I did before. My daughter got chickenpox. Everything that could go wrong went wrong, and trying to write that much in a short space of time, it nearly broke me. So that was the hardest thing, but I absolutely loved going to university. I loved being at university. I loved the friends I made at university, and I know a few of you are still watching me. And in fact, it was a girl from university who got me do YouTube. So without that, I wouldn't have this. So that's great. Thank you very much for your questions. They were absolutely fantastic and I really enjoyed answering them. If you want to ask me any questions, then do so down below and I will answer them there. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, give us a thumbs up. If you'd like to, please subscribe, and if you do subscribe, make sure you click on the bell to get a notification when I upload a video. And if you're already subscribed, you can also click on that bell to get a notification, and then I don't get lost in a sea of videos. I will see you again soon. All right, bye.